On October 14th, the Chinese People's Liberation Army announced the launch of the Joint Sword 2024B cross-service joint military exercise against Taiwan. This is not only the fourth time that China has conducted a Taiwan-wide military exercise against Taiwan, but also the number of military aircraft dispatched in a single day has broken the record, reaching 125 sorties. The People's Liberation Army's Eastern Theater Command announced that this military exercise involved the Army, Navy, Air Force, Rocket Force, and other services. It was held in the Taiwan Strait, north, south, and east of Taiwan. The Navy's Liaoning Aircraft Carrier Group entered the Bashi Channel the day before and also participated in the exercise. Ironically, for such a large-scale military exercise, the China Coast Guard released two posters. They turned a Taiwan satellite image 90 degrees horizontally and marked the cruise route around Taiwan with a red arrow. In the end, it formed a huge heart that surrounded Taiwan, and words such as Shanghai Sweetheart and Cruising are all in the shape of loving you were written in traditional Chinese on the side. Taiwan's military immediately dispatched F-16 fighter jets, frigates, and drones to monitor the movements of PLA aircraft and ships. Various types of anti-sea missiles and radar crews have also entered tactical positions, ready to respond to threats. Taiwan's Ministry of National Defense also immediately held an impromptu press conference that evening. As for the military power at sea, there were 17 warships. Among them, 4 were at the southeast coast. There were 17 other Coast Guard vessels, 3 at the north, 2 near the median line, 3 at the southwest, and 4 in the east. There were 5 others near the outlying islands. 125 military aircraft, including fighter jets and drones, were involved. In this military exercise, China dispatched advanced fighter aircraft to participate in the Round the Island exercise. These fighters include fighter jets and multiple batches of H-6K bombers carrying live ammunition. China's Rocket Force has also conducted multiple rounds of simulated strikes with large quantities of multiple types of missiles. The core task for me and my comrade-in-arms in the drills is to break through the simulated enemy's air defense alert system, seize battlefield control, and directly test the real combat capabilities including airspace alert, air combat, and in-flight refueling. We want to use a language comprehensible for the enemy and warn separatist force in Taiwan that those engaging in separatist activities will cause war, get burned for playing with fire, and bring destruction to themselves. Taiwan media reported that after China announced the end of the exercise on the evening of October 14th, Taiwan's Ministry of National Defense immediately released a video. In addition to the frigates and drones sent by the Taiwan military to monitor the movements of the PLA aircraft and ships, the video also showed black and white footage of F-16 fighter jets targeting J-15s with sniper pods. But the Chinese Communist Party's military had no idea. This demonstrates the Taiwan military's ability to closely monitor air threats. Some military experts interpreted this as Taiwan saying that I have seen you, and I am staring at you, and I can attack you at any time. Let's take a look at what the United States, Taiwan's Ministry of National Defense, and the Chinese military have to say about this military exercise. On October 11th, U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken attended the Vietnam-Laos East Asia Summit. At a press conference, Blinken said that Taiwan President Lai Ching-te's speech on National Day was just a routine speech, and China should not use it in any way as an excuse for provocative actions.
I can tell you that with regard to the so-called 10-10 speech, which is a regular exercise, China should not use it in any fashion as a pretext for provocative actions. On the contrary, we want to reinforce, and many other countries want to reinforce, the imperative of preserving the status quo, and neither party taking any actions that might undermine it. And again, this goes to something that's very powerfully felt across the region.
Taiwan's Ministry of National Defense stated that it would not escalate the conflict due to China's military exercises, but it has increased its alert posture on the outlying islands and is paying close attention to the movements of the Chinese rocket force. The irrational, provocative military drills carried out by the People's Liberation Army will not only endanger the security situation in the Taiwan Strait, it is also not conducive to the healthy development of cross-strait relations and seriously undermines the security situation and threatens rule-based international order. Taiwan is keeping close eyes on movements of China's rocket force, alert posture raised on outlying islands and aircraft. Ships have been responding to hostile situations in accordance with the rules of engagement. On the Chinese side, the Chinese military said that this military exercise was a warning against the separatist actions of Taiwan independence forces. Conducting drills in the Taiwan Strait shows our intensifying pressure from all directions to Taiwan separatists. Compared with previous drills, the scope of this drill was broader and the operational range closer, achieving new breakthroughs. Especially this time, our Coast Guard vessels conducted patrols around the island, strengthening maritime control. So why did the CCP launch the most powerful military exercise to encircle Taiwan in history? First, on October 5th, President Lai Ching-te of the Republic of China published a theory of motherland when attending the 113th National Day Gala of the Republic of China. Let's first take a look at what Lai Ching-te's theory of motherland is about. The People's Republic of China just celebrated its 75th birthday on October 1st. And in a few days, the Republic of China will celebrate its 113th birthday. Therefore, in terms of age, it is absolutely impossible for the People's Republic of China to become the motherland of the people of the Republic of China. On the contrary, the Republic of China may be the motherland of the People's Republic of China. What Lai Ching-te said is a piece of historical common sense, but it makes the CCP unable to refute it logically and makes it speechless. The official name of the Taiwanese regime is the Republic of China. Before 1949, this regime ruled mainland China and represented China internationally. Therefore, on October 10th, Taiwan held a Grand Double 10 National Day celebration. Lai Ching-te made his first speech as president. He once again emphasized the position that the People's Republic of China has no right to represent Taiwan. The Republic of China, the official name of Taiwan, has already put down roots in Taiwan, Penghu, Kinmen, and Matsu, and it's not subordinate to the People's Republic of China. On this land, democracy and freedom are growing and thriving. The People's Republic of China, the official name of China, has no right to represent Taiwan. The 23 million people of Taiwan, now more than ever, must reach out our branches to embrace the future. Lai Ching-te's two speeches triggered a fierce response from the Beijing authorities, to which Foreign Ministry spokesperson Mao Ning responded strongly. Military exercises were launched immediately afterwards. This was also the second military exercise conducted by the Chinese military against Taiwan after President Lai Ching-te took office on May 20th this year. Lai Ching-te's speech deliberately severed the historical connection between the two sides of the strait, reiterated non-jurisdiction, insisted on sovereignty, and changed its pattern to sell the fallacy of Taiwan independence. It again exposed his stubborn stand of Taiwan independence and sinister intention of increasing tensions in the Taiwan Strait to seek political gain. Many foreign media, including Reuters and the BBC, considered Lai Ching-te's National Day speech to be mild in tone. In this regard, Taiwan National Security Council Secretary General Joseph Wu said that President Lai's National Day speech showed a lot of goodwill and was highly recognized by international public opinion. During the National Day, the President held out an olive branch in his keynote speech, which was highly praised by the international community. But China ignored the message and continued to threaten Taiwan with military actions. I think the world will watch closely and will not agree to the action. Let's take a look at the main purpose of the Beijing government's military exercise. Taiwanese defense experts said that the most important thing about the military exercises is that China wants to show its ambitions and political goals to the world. This drill was actually not a so-called punishment. Most importantly, China wanted to show the whole world its ambitions and its political goals. This is why we say that this kind of military action by China is 70% political and 30% military. It is mostly a political exercise. This time there was a rather special component, the so-called quarantine or blockade of Taiwan, during which they practiced their blockading abilities. This is why Taiwan kept its guard up. Researchers from Taiwan's National Defense University analyzed, the CCP's purpose is to highlight its exercises and preparations against Taiwan and to exert pressure through military intimidation, but in fact, military threats have no effect at all. In fact, from our military perspective, it wants to blockade Taiwan's waters, and Taiwan also has the ability to resist the blockade. Because any blockade you imposed is an act of war, Taiwan can also adopt this method of self-defense. Taiwan also has the absolute ability to block and control all ports in its southeastern coast. We know that if China really has military ambitions towards Taiwan, Taiwan's two north-south passages, including the Miyako waters and the Bashi Strait, will never let it come so easily. Even if it passes to the east of Taiwan, it does not have these bases on the sea in the east of Taiwan. Therefore, as long as Taiwan or neighboring Japan or the United States attacks these supply ships of China, all its fleets in eastern Taiwan will be in a dead end. Jiang Feng, host of the Current Affairs Comment channel, analyzed, the exercise started at 5 a.m. and ended at 6 p.m., which lasted about 13 hours. But not a single bullet was fired. Why didn't a single bullet fire in the military exercise? In fact, what the Chinese Communist Party fears most is a rebellion by its own military. The military exercise is a performance, not an exercise. It is performed for the Taiwanese people. The Taiwanese people will no longer accept this trick. People in mainland China would rather the government launch less missiles and provide more medical insurance and pensions to the people. Therefore, the more he acts, the more disgusted people become, and the stronger the international community becomes in defending Taiwan. Not only did the exercise have no effect, but it had three major counter-effects. First, it gave the Taiwan military an opportunity to conduct actual combat exercises against foreign invasion. Second, the CCP's strategy of blocking the Taiwan island has been fully exposed. Third, it strengthens the desire of the U.S. military and its allies for joint operations, and strengthens the West's counterattack arrangements against various variables that may arise in the CCP's military operations. If the purpose of this military exercise is to intimidate, has it achieved its purpose? Let's first take a look at what the Taiwanese people interviewed by Reuters said. We are not worried at all because we trust our military and they have the capability to defend against any forces that would want to invade. We are not worried one bit. We are living very happily and came out to have fun riding motorbikes today. We came past here and are very happy that we could see jets taking off and landing, but I am not scared at all. On September 14th, the BBC Chinese website published an article titled, "The Chinese People's Liberation Army holds the Joint Sword 2024B military exercise. 6 key points you need to know," which mentioned the reaction of the Taiwanese people to the military exercise. The article said that in Taiwan's Facebook search field, the keywords military exercises and United Sword are the most popular. As of 10 a.m., the #1 hot word on Google Trends in Taiwan is military exercise, with searches exceeding 10,000. However, none of the top 10 search terms have anything to do with military exercises. Most of them are sports events and stock investment targets. Wang Weihan, a well-known Taiwanese news commentator with 270,000 followers, wrote on Facebook, "When the People's Liberation Army on the other side of the Taiwan Strait announced a military exercise today, I believe that most Taiwanese people have already understood that there is nothing to make a fuss about." A stock market investment Facebook fan posted, "Today's opening was slightly volatile due to the Chinese Communist Party's military drills. However, TSMC once fell below the market and immediately stabilized, leading the Taipei stock market to become stable. In fact, the Chinese Communist Party's military exercises in the past 2 years have been unable to affect Taiwan." A Taiwanese netizen on Facebook said, "China continues to act. The economy is so bad that the people can hardly live anymore." Another netizen called China a disgusting neighbor. A netizen on Threads, a community popular among young people, hopes that Taiwan's Ministry of National Defense will do something about it. Taiwan cannot be used as a sandbag.